Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joe Maffei, 123survive.com, home of the Combat Nation. Integrated Martial Development Centers where we do our training. We're in Waltham, Massachusetts. Okay, the other day I showed you how to make this primitive stick here. Okay? We roasted it up, and what I've done since I saw you guys was I just got a concoction I made from olive oil and yarrow extract, and I use that for bug spray, and I use it for, cooking and such, but it has an oil base, so I just oiled this stick down. Okay? So this is pretty much what it looks like, what we made the other day. Okay? What we're going to do today is I'm going to talk to you about how to use this primitive weapon. I see a lot of YouTube videos on, how to make certain primitive weapons, how to make bows, how to make fletchings, arrowheads. I see people teach you how to make spears, things like that. But I don't really see too much about how to use this or what you would do if you were ever attacked on the trail. Okay? Now, I get some questions about the size and the weight of a weapon. Okay? You have long staffs that you see people carrying around, which is more like a spear. That's a pretty good weapon if you are out in a big field and you have a lot of room to maneuver around. It doesn't work too good in close combat, all right? Some people ask me that maybe they might want something a little bit thicker, heavier than this. As you can see, this isn't very big. It's roughly about the length of my arm, maybe a little bit further. It's about 26, 28 inches long, okay? But they're thinking that they want something a little bit heavier, something that's going to cause more damage. Well, you don't want that either, because when you get something heavier, you're going to cause more damage, but you're going to lose a lot in mobility, flexibility, and speed. And that's what you're going to need, okay? Now, you might come across maybe a wild dog or a raccoon or maybe even a person, all right? And the anatomy is the same. When you have a blunt weapon like this, the targets that you're looking for are anywhere that's got an exposed joint or exposed bone. Anywhere on the head, the collarbone, the elbow, the wrist, the hands, the hip bone, the kneecaps, the ankles, the feet, the hands. These are the spots you want to be aiming for, okay? You don't want to, hit somebody in the muscle part of their armchair or the thick part of their leg, okay? You're not going to get as much damage. Is it still going to hurt? Are they going to get a welt? Will it get their attention? Absolutely. But when you smash somebody's joint with this stick, you're going to get more than just a reaction. You're going to get some kind of submission, or, the animal will run off, because when you shatter a joint, it's just not the same. Okay? If you take a stick and you start hitting your wrist bone or your knuckle, you can't take that much. Okay? So these are the basic primary targets. We have primary and secondary. The bones and the joints are your primary, and anywhere else that you hit, it's secondary. Okay? With that said, let's talk about a couple of ways that we can actually use this stick here. Okay? One is you can just, bam, you can just crack somebody with this. And I want you to notice one thing, guys. I have my small day pack with me, my stuff that I carry, my pouch, a small canteen, because most of the time, if it's unexpected, unprovoked, you're going to have a lot of your gear on. A lot of times I get the guys to train, and we actually wear full packs just so they can see what it's like. But I just want you to see, as I move around, this stuff is going to be swinging. So I didn't want to give you a false image of what a primitive weapon does and the reality of it if you didn't sort of see the complications and kind of like the crap that you have to go through while you're using it, okay? So, getting back to the stick. When you're just whipping this at someone's head or some animal's leg or something, the last 4 inches of this weapon, from here to here, is where the most impact is going to be. It's like a whip. As you whip, the last 4 inches, it's going to cause the most damage. Okay? So as I wind up here, as I hit my target, I'm hitting with the last 4 inches. I'm not hitting with the middle here or the shank. I'm hitting with the end, the tip here. Not the very tip, just the end part here. Okay, that's my shot. All right? Now you also have the tip here for thrusting. If you're thrusting, you want to go for the soft tissue. You're not thrusting at a joint. You're thrusting at the eyeballs, the throat, the mouth, the ears, the groin, under the armpits, in the anal. That's the spot that you're going to be thrusting this at. Okay? So, you have the tip for thrusting. You have the end for just blunt trauma. Okay? You also have the opposite end. Okay? They call this puño. Okay? You can use that. You happen to be in close. You don't have to try to get distance to hit with this. You can just use the puño. Okay? You can use that to dig in and hit the throat and hit places like that. Okay? And you have the shank. The shank isn't used that much, but it can restrain someone or restrain an animal. If you have it down, you can hold it back, choking it like this, or you can use it just to push somebody off. If they're a little bit close, if an animal's on you, he's trying to get you, you can use that to push it off. You could push it off and hit him with the butt. You could push it off and go right back into a long-range attack. Okay? So now you have a little bit of an understanding of what the stick is and how it works. The next thing I want to talk about is the different kinds of strikes. There's really only 2 strikes you got. You have a follow-through, which looks like this, and you have a retraction, which looks like this. Okay, so you have a follow-through. It can be from this side, it can be from this side, or it can be a retraction, just like that. Okay, you can have a follow-through with the butt end, or you can have a retraction with the butt end. You can have a follow-through with the tip, or you can have a retraction with the tip. It doesn't matter, okay? The nice thing about this primitive weapon, a light primitive weapon, is that because of the target that we're aiming for, the joints, okay, the eyes, the throat, you don't need anything big and heavy. It's not like I want to hit some big, huge guy. I'm trying to bust his head open. I'm not. I'm just trying to bust his hand. You know, chimpanzees are very smart animals. When they attack other animals or humans, they bite the hands off. They attack the hands. They do that so that you can't really fight back because you just lost all your grip. In the Filipino martial arts system that we draw from, we call that defanging the snake. All right? So if we can take out the animal's paws or the legs or a human's hands or the elbows, they're pretty much incapacitated now because they can't grab, they can't get you close to hurt you. So there's different distances regarding that.